big dogs, do not buy Phantom Revengers without listening to this video. I know over the last couple of days, there have been other content creators literally gobbling the set down without spitting on it, but in today's video, we're gonna break down everything you need to know about this set. This video is going to give you all of the information you need to know to make an informed opinion. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. So the Phantom Revenger set. This Yu-Gi-Oh set was actually something that I was really excited about. With legendary 5Ds getting incredible reprints like the Molcharmy cards, and we've actually had some pretty good announcements in the past, I thought that this was going to be the time for Konami to actually start separating itself from the old Yu-Gi-Oh where we didn't get consistently good reprints and sets, to the new Yu-Gi-Oh, keeping up with other powerhouses like One Piece and Pokemon, giving us solid reprints and amazing Yu-Gi-Oh sets. Phantom Revengers has definitely showed us why we shouldn't believe in them too much. I want to go on record saying that I still don't necessarily hate this set. I do want to say that I had way more hope than what was provided. And of course, we've broken this video down into multiple different sections. The first is introducing the archetypes to you guys and helping you understand what exactly they do. Second is their meta relevance. And third is, of course, the problems, the benefits, and the drawbacks with this Yu-Gi-Oh set. So let's go ahead and start off by talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh strategies themselves. Phantom Revengers is a 60 card box set that's giving us 3 new archetypes: Killer Toon, also now known as Cool Toon, Encraft, and Hekahands. I ain't gonna lie, I actually like the change from Killer Toon to Cool Toon, and I like the name Hekahands because you can always get Hekahands. These 3 new strategies actually do bring a brand new way to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Killer Toon is a Yu-Gi-Oh strategy that is built on synchro summoning with nothing but tuner monsters. The deck is literally just that. Tuners on tuners on tuners. Some of the most important cards is Killer Toon Rako, which allows you to be able to get a Killer Toon monster from your deck or graveyard. And then the other card is Killer Toon Mix, another Killer Toon card that allows you to be able to get Killer Toon monsters from your deck or graveyard. The cool thing about Killer Toon is that these monsters not only are pretty good at searching one another, they also allow you to be able to synchro summon with tuner monsters in your hand, meaning that your hand trap cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and Ghost Bell can serve a double purpose. How is the Goon Sesh with TJ is crazy. Your name is Toon Blader. You're almost there. This is a version of Killer Toon that actually did really well at the China City Tour Beijing station. It got top 16, and as you can see, the deck is mostly comprised of a pure Yu-Gi-Oh deck. If I remember correctly, it is both Killer Toon Rako and Killer Toon Mix, which are confirmed ultra rares. It means that if you want to build this deck, you're probably going to have to play the waifu tax. All of the main deck monsters are ultras? Holy! The next strategy I want to talk to you guys about is Hekahands. This Yu-Gi-Oh strategy is built on being illusion monsters, so they can't be destroyed by battle, or nor can they destroy monsters by battle. But the next important thing is that they use your opponent's cards to be able to perform fusion summons. It's pretty much if Change of Heart had a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and Change of Heart is actually a pretty good card in here. Hekahands should be called Heka No Hands. Brother, I gotta say, we hating on Hekahands, but they have the best art out of the 3 of them. He ain't wrong. They do got the best art. While Cool Toon does seem like the strongest of the 3 strategies, I'm not gonna hold you. Hekahands seems like the worst. It doesn't seem like a fully functional Yu-Gi-Oh strategy on its own, but a really good engine that you can combine in with other Yu-Gi-Oh strategies. Hekahands needs Heka help. Here's what we have: a Hekahands Chimera Fiendsmith deck. And keep in mind, in the OCG, cards like Fiendsmith Tract and Fiendsmith Engraver are limited to 1. So I would assume that this strategy will be a lot stronger in the TCG without that limitation, and with cards like Maxi being banned. Hekahands is thought of to be the worst of the 3 strategies, but we'll talk about their meta relevancy in the TCG later, because I do think it'll be a little bit different than in the TCG. The last Yu-Gi-Oh strategy we're going to talk about is Encraft. And Encraft is a pendulum deck, which means unfortunately most Yu-Gi-Oh players won't read the cards. Encraft actually reminds me a little bit of Cleafort. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh strategy that is built on using your pendulum effects in the pendulum zone to be able to get counters, which, holy crap. I know it sounds really bad, but it is a pendulum deck that are flip effects that also rely on counters. It sounds like the worst strategy of all time. But yeah, Encraft is a group of cards that consist of special summoning these cards to your side of the field face down, and then when your opponent activates card effects, you can flip them face up and gain a variety of effects. Encraft. I need to craft a better language. Here we have Encraft as a Yu-Gi-Oh strategy, and it also had some success. This was in the 3v3 Ryder Cup, and this deck it's actually a lot better than what I gave it credit. Pendulum Mimighoul is actually kind of close to what the deck is, except it's actually good. The pros is that all three of these Yu-Gi-Oh strategies are different from one another, and they're actually different from almost any other Yu-Gi-Oh strategy we've ever had. But that brings us to our meta relevancy portion. How good are these cards in the meta? That actually is probably what you are wondering about, which is a determining factor of if you should buy Phantom Revengers. Well, from sitting down and talking the chat, going over some of the past lists that were successful, and looking over the cards and seeing how they would apply into the TCG, I think that these Yu-Gi-Oh strategies will be stronger in the TCG than in the OCG, and there's a couple of reasons. The first is that we have different cards in the TCG as opposed to the OCG. As you guys already know, one of the biggest reasons why certain Yu-Gi-Oh strategies can't succeed in the OCG and Master Duel is simply because of Max C. That, alongside of the Charmy cards, can be very counterproductive to any deck that wants to special summon. I think that Cool Tune is one of those Yu-Gi-Oh strategies that are actually really good. It does give your opponent a lot of advantage to Molchummy Flawless, but the thing here is that Molchummy Flawless and Maxi is in the OCG, where we only have to deal with Molchummy Flawless in the TCG. And let's keep it a bean. If Molchummy Flawless was preventing every Yu-Gi-Oh deck from playing, then we wouldn't have any Yu-Gi-Oh decks playing. I think right after Cool Tune, Encraft has so much insane potential, it's not funny. I sat down and actually gave those Encraft cards a chance, and holy, they have a lot of potential. Between special summoning themselves to the side of the field face down, and then responding to your opponent using effects that are worldwide being used in just about every single deck, they have so much potential, and the best thing about them, I believe they only have one ultra rare inside of the pack. And lastly is Hekahands. I don't think that this deck has any competitive relevancy whatsoever, but I could be wrong. The main reason is because Hekahands effects are a gamble. The three main level 7 Hekahand monsters can only be activated during your turn, and you have to randomly be able to hit an opponent's monster to be able to summon it to your side of the field. Normally, that's not a problem, but seeing that other Yu-Gi-Oh strategies can do their strategy without the risk of luck, and seeing that these Hekahand cards are reliant on using your opponent's monsters, it could be really bad. I think this one doesn't have a lot of opportunity as a main deck without support, but could be a decent engine. When you look at the Phantom Revengers, all of the Killer Tune cards are ultra rares. A lot of the Hekahand cards are ultra rares, and only one of the Encraft's cards are ultra rares. I think you shouldn't buy it if you're trying to pick up those cards. When we talk about pricing, want to talk about Raven Wings being cheaper than your competitors? Oh, yeah, Toon Blader, thank you. Raven Wing version 4, my boy. Raven Wing is the cheapest sleeve on the universe, and it also just so happens to be the best. It's like if you could get Yu-Gi-Oh boxes for $20 each and guarantee the top tier cards that you wanted every single time. Make sure that you guys are going to TheCaliEffect.com to purchase your sleeves today. Because if you don't, chat gonna kick your butt. Raven Wings made me walk again. You're gonna have to buy a whole case of that set just to mathematically get a pay set of all of the ultras. So unless you're selling the week it comes out, you're going to neg on the case. She's not wrong. Mathematically, if you guys are buying boxes just to buy fun, then have at it. But if you want a play set of everything, you're going to need to drop a decent amount of money. With that being said, it would be way better just for you to buy singles, but I wouldn't even buy singles right now. We looked up for some of the pre-orders for the Yu-Gi-Oh strategies, and we've seen them upwards to $200. That's crazy. Prices fall during weeks 2 to 4, then pick up before 5 to 10 before it stabilizes. Brother, he knows game. That man knows game. The big problem that I think that Phantom Revengers has is the reprints. There are exactly 0 reprints inside of the set that are worth it. 0. Nada. Zilch. With the best card being Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. That card's crazy at a rare. The other cards are so underwhelming, it's not funny. I need you guys to pay attention. listen up. Right here, we are on card cluster, which has given us all of the reprints, as you guys can see, all of the Killer Toon main deck monsters and one synchro monster, and I think that's the filled spell, or no, that's the quick play spell, or ultra, so that's kind of crazy. And then you move down, you get Autonomous Action Unit. This card says pay 50 general life points, target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and special summon it. It's Hekahands support, I guess. You get Snatch Steel, Change of Heart, Nightmare Magician, Jet Synchron, Crystal Wing Synchro, Eye of Illusion, guys. Bro, these reprints are dog water. There's still an opportunity for Ghost Bell to get that collector's rare upgrade, which I think is cool, but the other cards are some of the worst reprints we've ever seen. They're so unnecessary, you don't have to go far to find the reprints. Now, it's not all terrible. They did reprint Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper. That's a really good one, but one of the most expensive cards for Killer Toon, Red Nova, is still at large. This card is over a decade old and has not received a reprint. They could have bolstered this Yu-Gi-Oh set by giving us reprints that we needed. A little bit of random cards that could help fit the theme. Cards that actually improved the deck and were usable throughout the OCG's run. Good reprints. Something to drive people to buy this set outside of the 3 decks that are looking like a flop. I also hate how the rarity disparity is inside of this set. Killer Toon is, oh my god, it's a ridiculous number of ultra rares, and then Hekahands take up the rest, and then Encraft is pretty much last. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. I think that this Yu-Gi-Oh set is 6 out of 10. Ironically, when you look at Legendary 5D's decks, it does the opposite. It doesn't provide really any new cards and provides almost zero competitive playability, but since it gave us Mole Charmy reprints, everybody's buying it out the buttload. Konami could have had their cake and eat it, guys. It could have been a way better Yu-Gi-Oh set. But let me know if you guys are buying Phantom Revengers, if you're buying singles, if you're waiting, or if you're getting the core right now. If you think that I'm wrong, and everything in between in the comment section. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say, and I can't wait to see you on the next video. Go ahead and click on one of these.